Good evening, everyone, and it's lovely to be along here tonight, and it's lovely to see so many of our boys and girls here this evening enjoying the juice and the cheese and so on. So you're all very welcome. Tonight, John and myself are going to talk about family learning and about French fun for families, and you'll be pleased to know that we're going to kind of focus more on family learning. I'm still at lesson 3 in the programme, so I've still got a wee bit to go, and I know that John has just managed to get to lesson 2. Is that right, John?
That's correct.
So family learning has been mentioned a lot in Scottish education, and recently in Scottish education there's 2 documents that at the moment help us as teachers to evaluate what we're doing, to let us know what's working well, what's not working so well, and to inform our next steps. One of those documents is How Good Is Our School For, which is this document here that John's got.
The glamorous assistant holds up.
How Good Is Our School For? And that document has 15 areas, or what we call 15 quality indicators. And one of those quality indicators focuses on family learning. The other key document, you probably heard John Swinney talk about it on the news in the Scottish Parliament. You've heard Nicola Sturgeon talk about it a lot. She talks about the National Improvement Framework. And the National Improvement Framework has 6 areas, or 6 drivers for improvement. And one of those key drivers for improvement is parental involvement. So you've got family learning and you've got parental involvement. So what's important about family learning for us as parents and teachers, and what's important about parental engagement for us as parents and teachers for our pupils? Well, I've got 7 points up here that describe what family learning is. And in the past, we may have spoken a wee bit about parental involvement. And I suppose there is a difference between parental involvement and family learning. Parental involvement, I suppose, in the past when we thought about it, it would be about parents coming along and helping out at a school trip, attending a summer fair, coming to the school Christmas show. All of those things are really, really important. But family learning is described in a different way. It's about getting families involved in their children's learning. And a quote from How Good Is Our School For, it says, focusing on increasing the positive impact of working with families to improve learning and achievement. So what the Scottish Government's asking us to do, what HMI and Education Scotland are asking us to do, is get families involved in the learning of their children, because when we do that, we know the children achieve better outcomes. So I'm just going to very quickly touch on these points. What is family learning? It's when adults and children share learning together. And it's about having an opportunity to sit down with your children and talk about their learning. Point 2 talks about spending quality time together. I've got 4 children at home, and the pace of life in my house is absolutely relentless. They go to football, they go to swimming, they go to their friend's house, and I'm a taxi driver. And I have to say, and I'm sure, looking around here, a lot of you as parents will recognise that. And unless you put time aside, timetable almost time aside to spend with your children, you'll miss that opportunity. So that opportunity to spend quality time together. Points 3 and 4 about families supporting their children's learning and about parents becoming active participants in their learning. We know that when parents are well informed about what and how their children are learning, they're much better placed to support their child's learning. We also know that when parents get involved, teachers, parents, pupils, working together, working collaboratively, we achieve much better educational outcomes for our children, and that is what we're after. That part there about quality family learning is responsive to the needs. French Fun for Families, this programme that Richard and Tamsin have pulled together, is responsive to the needs because you can work through it at your own pace. Family learning leads to stronger homeschool links. I've touched on why that's important. But this last point, when parents and children work together, you get a window on your children's learning. You know how much and how well they're learning. And as parents, that's absolutely invaluable, because if you know that, you know how best to support them at home. So that's absolutely key. This here is, as teachers, we're fascinated by research. We use it to inform our practice. We use it to inform our teaching and learning. And this is an extract, a screenshot from the Educational Endowment Fund. And what that is, it's a piece of research that pulls lots of research together. Sometimes it's called a meta-analysis or a meta-study. But basically what that tells us is it says that if we are successful in engaging you as parents, we will achieve much better outcomes for our children. So it's worth our while having nights like this to raise the achievement and attainment of our children. So just in summary, what are the benefits of family learning, of programmes such as French Fun for Families? Well, the benefits are clear. It leads to increased attainment. It improves the relationships within the family. There's a sense of being involved in your child's development. The children see that because you're spending time to work along with them, you're putting a value on their learning. Children also see the importance of perseverance, not giving up, because you model that for them at home. And this last point here about developing study skills, putting time aside, making good choices. You know, as the children progress and mature through primary school and go on to high school, we do see, even in primary 1 as they go up to primary 7, there's an increase in the expectations of homework. And as they move on to university or into the workplace, we want our boys and girls to have those skills for developing, for learning life and work, the skills for developing within them for learning life and work. So, and I don't know, I've said quite a lot.
You have indeed.
Maybe too much.
Indeed, très bien, Mr. Gillan. However, that's the boring bit over. Now,
thanks, John.
Now the fun bit.
Is it a dance then?
It's the dance.
Well, Tamsin, there might be a song. There might be. You'll have to wait and see, as you like to say yourself. So, and which one do you think? Okay, so like any good teacher, there's always a bit for you to do. So this is an activity. So for a couple of minutes, and we call these shoulder partners, and that just means whoever's sitting beside you. So as you can see, there's an activity for the adults, and that is, think of a time where you were working with your child on an activity and you really made a difference to their learning. So I'll maybe describe and discuss that with the person beside you. And for the boys and girls that are here, think of a time when one of your family members were working on an activity with you, a school activity where you were doing some home learning. What was better about working together? Okay, so you have 2 minutes to discuss. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe some of your conversations went like that you found a real great sense of satisfaction when you were helping or supporting your child, and that's a valuable time that you get together. Fraser said how we have such busy lives and it's really difficult to fit everything in. So when we do take that time, we do, I would say, find it valuable just connecting. And I think that there's benefits to yourself as a parent, and there's obvious benefits to your children. And maybe for our children, I would hope that they would be saying that they found it more fun working with someone in their family, maybe less frustrating at times because there's someone there to help them, and perhaps easier. And as you know, that 2 heads are always better than 1. Okay, and just sort of to sum up the French Fund for Families, the programme itself, you know, I know that everyone was given your little French Fund for Families bag, and inside that you will find the booklet. And certainly, you know, I found the booklet, and I have done a little bit in it, It helps me to sort of just reinforce and remember. It's a bit of sort of over-learning for me to remember what was in the actual videos and the online resource. I think also that, as you see up there, it's a fun approach to learning. It really is, because again, in terms of research, as we know, that everyone learns differently, and different approaches help certain people. Things like the songs and the rhymes, I think, are good for some people to help them remember. It's certainly something that helps me. Other people like quizzes and that type of thing. The animations, as you saw on the videos, the children like the animations. We also talked about the cultural part of it. I think that's a great part. It's not only French that they're learning a bit about the French culture. So that resource is great. It's there online. Again, like Fraser said, you can dip into it whenever you get the chance. So there's no time limit to it. It's up to you as a family when you do that. Tamsin did say that she was hoping for a song. Boys and girls, are you up for learning a song? Oui? Yeah. Oui, Monsieur Hutch, and that's what you're supposed to say. Okay? Oui, Monsieur Hutch. Okay? So it's really easy, and you might already know it, because it's in the very first lesson, and it goes like this, and you have to repeat after me, okay? Salut, ça va.
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 Moi, ça va très bien.
Moi, ça va très bien.
Oi! Okay. Well done. Give yourself a round of applause.